Okay.
Jumbo again, everybody. My name is Jason. I welcome you to the Rumbe Wildlife Reserve. Now, before we do head into the reserve, there are a few things which I must ask of you. Number one is to please remain seated at all times, for these roads are very bumpy and I look very bad having many potholes. Also, to hang on to all your animals, like your cameras, your cell phones, make your videos, or anything that could fall outside your truck. Because if it falls out, I cannot stop and pick it up. I just gotta wave a goodbye.
We're on Kilimanjaro Safari. Say hi, Elizabeth.
Photographs today. If you want to get the best photo out here, I do recommend it.
Maybe we'll see a baby hippopotamus. Maybe not.
These animals are moving around all the time as are we moving past them. No animal really stops to strike a pose. Now, it was the first time out in the reserve with us here today, raise your hands. And the very back, welcome. I welcome everyone else back. As always, there is that spotting guide above your head, helping the naming of the animals. And oh, looks like we begin the up there. So who's ready to see animals?
Yay!
Oh, I don't think you're ready. Who's ready? Yay! Oh, much better. Now, the first stop in our journey.
I guess we're ready.
Forest. So let's see what we can be finding out here today. So up here to your left, these are greater kudos you're seeing. Now, greater kudos, they look like they're related to deer, don't they?
They look like zebras, but they don't.
Yeah, they're a cousin to the antelope. They weigh between 425 to nearly 750 pounds. We find that males have horns on top of their heads, whereas the females do not. And they have those white stripes across them, that's what makes them related, plus they weigh so much. They stand roughly around 5 to 5.5 feet tall. No, most of the other animals that live in the military forest are very shy. So sometimes we'll be finding them hiding in the very dense parts areas of the forest. So always keep your eyes on the lookout on the more dense parts of the forest, because you never know where you might be seeing some of them hiding away. In fact, some of the animals that hide so often in the forest areas, we can give them little nicknames like. Oh, up here to your right, these are bongos. Bongos have a nickname called Ghost of the Forest. Now they're given the name because they're so very rarely seen. Bongos are the ones that are usually off hiding there because they're very, very shy and very timid in their nature. Now up here to your left, that's the black rhino you're seeing.
Wait, what is that? Is that a rhino?
Now that black rhino weighs about 3,000 pounds and it can charge up to a speed around 30 miles per hour. The black rhinos typically are found by themselves. Now we are leaving the military forest, but the next step of our journey is going to be the Safi wetlands. Georgia! Now we are heading towards the Safi wetlands. You'll find our some animals who spend the majority of their time on the shoreline. Once in a while, though, oh, there's your right. Now, Nile hippopotamus is mostly spending its time in the water. When you see it on the shoreline like this, it means one of two things. It gets hungry, so it comes over to the shoreline to eat. The second time is they live in relatively cold waters, so you might see them laying on the shoreline just to warm up a little bit. Oh goodness, another one up here to your left-hand side. Now, a group of them gathered together is called to be a float. When they are first born, they're weighing roughly about 80 pounds. Then in the adult ages, they weigh closer to around 6,000 pounds. Now the birds up here to your left-hand side are pink-backed pelicans. And pink-backed pelicans will have a nest group size that ranges between 20 to about 500 of them. Now the Nile hippopotamuses, you see how the one is fully submerged over here? They actually stay up to 8 minutes at a time underneath the water like that. And then they'll briefly come up for a breath of fresh air and go back down under. Looks like some vultures are trying to catch a tan.
Look at me, I'm just going skydiving.
Oh goodness, I'm seeing some humans here to your left. But then right, look below them, some crocodiles. Now crocodiles can grow to be as long as 15 to nearly 20 feet in length. They can live between the ages of 45 to nearly 80 years old. They weigh roughly around 500 pounds. Now Nile crocodiles are a very cold-blooded creature, but they would every once in a while need to regulate this. How do you think they're able to do so? They open their mouths. The quickest way for them to circle between the cold and the hot to find what's comfortable for them. Now we are leaving the Saki wetlands, but our next stop on our journey is going to be the savannah. Up here to your right, that is a baobab tree, or sometimes called upside down because it is leafless 9 months out of the year time. But that baobab tree can actually live to be thousands of years old. In fact, the oldest baobab tree ever recorded in history is close to around 2,000 years old. And it can store within itself thousands of gallons of water. That's one reason why a baobab tree can live for such a long time, is because they use that water. And the water can also help the animals too, if it's a very harsh and very dry summer. Now you'll find here in savannah, that's a lot of open areas. Not a lot of great places to where the animals can hide out. So one thing they always are greatly depending on is each other. And so what the animals are always looking out for each other's backs, in whichever way this may be. One way is that you find the animals have always created this little community that they have between each other, because they're always want to help each other, not only when it comes to predators, but other ways as well. One of the other ways is that you find the animals will see what portions of the savannah they need to leave alone so that everyone has a good amount of food when it comes to later summer and winter times. Oh goodness, up here to your left, those are some wild African dogs. Now, wild African dogs are considered to be the most successful hunting pack of the wild, where they will run their prey down to the collapses of dehydration. Their vocal cords sound very similar to that of rubber ducky noise. Now, off here to your far left-hand side, you're seeing some sable antelopes along the hill ridge back there. Now, sable antelopes have a very short lifespan of only 17 to 18 years old. If you notice, some of them have a darker coat while others have a much lighter coat on them. What do you think a darker coat for a sable antelope could be? It's maturity level. The darker the coat gets from, the more mature they become. The lighter, the less mature they are. Can anyone tell me what this big mound of dirt is up to our left? Ah, yes, termite mounds. Now, these termite mounds are made up of 3 things. Anyone know what those 3 things are?
Dirt, spit, and...
Yep.
I think you're right.
Dirt, spit, and animal dung. Now, if you're to your left-hand side, you're seeing some Patterson inlands. Now, the Patterson inlands are the biggest of the antelope family, for you find that one Patterson inland can stand to be roughly about 6 feet tall. And they can jump directly 4 feet straight in the air if they wish. Now, the Patterson inlets, you will find on both males and females this very spiral long horn. The horn itself growing to be about 2 to 2.5 feet in length. And the reason being is because since they are such a large animal, if a predator were to ever get up on the backsides of them, they actually are capable of taking their heads and running directly backwards, just so they can get that predator off on the backsides of them, so they then can approach the predator head on. The Patterson inlets, the younger ones will stay relatively close to the other adults until their horns have actually grown to the length where they're able to protect themselves. And also the adults will stay close to them just to make sure the maturity level reaches the same peak to when they be able to protect themselves as well. You'll find that the Patterson inlets, the top speed is roughly about 32 miles per hour. Now I do see a little further into the savannah off here to your right hand side. If you see the gray animals all laying down off here in the far distance, those actually are white-bearded wildebeest you are seeing. Now white-bearded wildebeest are always traveling in large groups. In fact, for the white-bearded wildebeest, they travel in group sizes that range between 20 up to nearly 1.5 million of them. And every year they will make a migration. The migration distance of which they will do is between 500 up to nearly 1,000 miles. You'll find for both males and females as well. They will carry a horn as well, but their horn grows outwards and then will curl itself back in towards the middle. And it's found on the front side because they believe in attacking their predators head on. They weigh roughly about 440 pounds, and they charge between a speed of 40 to 45. And there's a monster giraffe off there at your right side as well. At least the back side of it. There's the good side. Now, the monster giraffes, when they are first born, they're actually standing roughly about 6 feet tall. Then in their adult ages, they're standing between 18 to nearly 20 feet high up in the air. And monster giraffes, you'll never find two with the exact same spot pattern. Each individual giraffe has their own very unique, distinct patterns to them. Very similar about how you may have our own individual fingerprints. Or no two are ever like or exactly the same. Oh goodness, there's some more off here to your left-hand side.
Whoa!
Now, what do you think a group of monster giraffes would be called? It's a good guess, but it's actually a tower. A name quite fitting considering of how tall they are. And even though they're tall, there's always going to be trees taller than them. So to help them out with this little difference, you'll find that a monster giraffe has a tongue that's roughly about 1.5 feet long. That can actually reach up, grab what they want, and bring it straight back down into their mouth. The top speed for them is between that of 20 to nearly 30 miles per hour. And oh goodness, that's an African elephant straight in front of us. Now, the African elephant, when they are first born, they're weighing about 300 pounds. Guess how much one African elephant weighs in their adult age? Between 11,000 to nearly 13,800 pounds.
Whoa, that's...
And not only do you have that, but over here to your left, you also have some mandrills I'm seeing against the back wall over there. Now, mandrills are the biggest monkey of the wild, for actually one mandrill can weigh to be as much as 100 pounds. Now, there is a short, low road I would like to take you on today. It's a bit more of a bumpier trailer. I like it, but the other drivers say it's way too bumpy of a road. But never mind, my road's been closed because it's no longer there. Well then, since my road is closed, let's see where they'll redirect me then today. And, oh, it's an old bridge. To be on the safe side, I'm going to pull it on this bridge, and hopefully I'll see you on the other side of it. I see duct tape. I'm running. We're passing into some red clay right now. Now within the red clay, if you ever were to be seeing like elephant tusk marking like this to your right hand side, that means they've been eating recently.
Elephant!
Now up here to your left, there's another one. Now the reason the African elephants would be eating that red clay is because within it you find there's a lot of vitamins and nutrients that are very beneficial for the African elephant. In fact, the whole entire daytime, they eat a whole number of things. They will be eating like smaller trees, they'll be eating roots of trees, bushes, branches, grass, fruits, vegetables, whatever they could be eating their trunks onto. They will be searching about looking to eat something like that. So, how much do you think one African elephant could eat in one day's time? 300 pounds in 1 day's time. But also, you are going to find the African elephants are a very sociable animal. See one background over there to your far back, left back, right.
I see it.
Now, the African elephants are going to be socializing, like I say, between one another because the African elephants are always greatly depending on each other, especially when it comes to the later times of night, protecting themselves from predators and such. So one thing they will do is socialize you with each other in the daytime. You might see them go swimming together. You might see them searching for food for one another. You might see them roll around in a mud pit, or truly whatever ways they can bond with each other, you'll find they will be doing it because even at a very young age, they want to establish trust and a bond. Now the trust is so that the younger one can trust them to protect them through the nighttime, then later in life in turn protect them. And then the bond is forever tied. Like for me, I see the African elephants as being the strongest example of a family unit tie. Now up here to your left are some greater flamingos. Now greater flamingos, when they are first born, what color are they? Gray. Yeah, they start gray in life first, then they'll turn white, and then they go pink through their diet of brine shrimp. This brine shrimp carries a little material known as beta-carotene, and that's actually what gives them their pink feathers. And the group of them gathered together is called a flamboyance. We are now leaving the savannah and entering now into the woodlands. Oh, now I see something up to your left-hand side. It's a white rhino.
Oh, I see it.
Now, a white rhino way between... Oh yeah, in the very back, that is zebras. Now, zebras actually have a very powerful back kick. The back kick of one zebra is actually so powerful that it could break the jaw of a lion.
Can they break
How do you think you'll be able to tell if it's a white zebra with black stripes on top or a black body with white stripes on top?
They're all white.
Nope, you look to the nose. The nose of a zebra will tell you exactly what color their body type is. So, they have a black nose. So for these zebras, they have a black body with white stripes on top of it.
Oh, white rhino.
Now this white rhino to your left weighs between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds, and it can charge up to a speed around 35 miles per hour. But white rhinos have very poor eyesight because if you notice the ears are moving quite a lot, because white rhinos are greatly depending on their hearing, so please don't whistle. If very few can do that, don't do it, because you don't want to spook the white rhino, because if it hears a noise it doesn't recognize, it goes away from that noise. Something else about the white rhinos is that they don't actually get the name because of the color of their skin or horns, but we actually think it's through a mistranslation of the original name, which was white, which means broad and wide, relating to their mouths, because the mouths of the white rhinos are very broad and a very wide mouth. So we just think when they were translating from the old language into English, they mistook the word white for white, and that's why you have white rhinos. Oh, and I see the Kopi rocks coming up through our left-hand side. How many of you have heard about our nighttime safaris before? Oh yeah. Ah, I've had a few that have been on them. Awesome. Well, for the rest of you, if you haven't been on them yet or just barely been hearing about them, come on back, because there's actually a little difference of animals out here, because there's a lot of animals that are sleeping during the daytime that won't become active until the night times, because we do run clear up until closing tonight. So if you ever have the time, come on back and see the difference of night versus daytime safaris. There's another white rhino up here to your right hand side. And you want to find that white rhinos actually do travel in groups because they greatly depend on each other's. In the very back, can you sit down for me, my friends? In the very, very back, thank you. Oh goodness, up to your right, there's some ostrich.
I see an ostrich.
So ostrich off to your right, and yes, to your left, that is a very sleepy lion you're seeing over there.
Looks like
The lions will sleep between hours of 16 to 20 hours of the day away. Nighttime is primarily when you see a lion or up and roaming about the land. Does anyone know the Swahili word for lion?
Simba.
Ah, yes, Simba. But then what's a group of them called? Yep, a bride. You're correct. Now, do you know about how far away you can hear the roar of a lion? 5 miles away. And they weigh roughly about 500 pounds. I see you come up here on your left-hand side, a warthog. Now, warthogs are considered to be the biggest burrowing creatures of the wild, where they'll be using frontal snouts and tusks digging holes in the ground where they live. They also will be scavenging for food in the same manner. You'll find that the closest relative to that of a warthog is actually a domestic pig.
Looks like Cooper.
And I see crossing in the front right now is those ostrich. Now, ostrich are the biggest flightless birds of the wild. They can run between a speed of 30 to 40 miles per hour. And if you've ever heard the term bury your head in sand like an ostrich, the ostrich never do this. They never actually physically bury their heads in the sand. There's some ostrich eggs over here to your right hand side as well. Those ostrich eggs actually weigh roughly around 3 pounds, but they can take the average weight of one man staying on top of them and not shattering. To crack one ostrich egg open, you would have to take a hammer and a chisel to break it open. And Fred told me that one ostrich egg can make roughly about 7 servings worth of scrambled eggs. Now we are now leaving the mudlands and entering now into the Magadi Glen. Now here to the Magadi Glen, you really won't be seeing a whole lot of predators, but on occasion, you might see some animals that are acting a bit more like a cannibal towards other species. Oh, come over here on your right hand side, there's some yellow-billed storks. Now, yellow-billed storks have a main source of diet of 4 things. They'll either be eating smaller fish, snakes, and frogs, but their main source of diet is little birds. Yeah, the yellow-billed storks are considered to be the cannibals since they eat little birds as their main source of diet. And their wingspan is actually roughly about 5 feet in length. But I hope you've enjoyed seeing the animals out here today, and I not only hope you can take into your hearts of what you've seen, but also into your minds to be very mindful. Think of any ways you're going to help out the animals. So it's just like recycling. But when you recycle, you're actually helping keep the lands free and clear of debris that's harmful to the animals who live all on and around the lands. Also, when you help out towards funds for the animals, like the Disney Conservation Fund, you're helping achieve their goals. One of which is they're trying to keep not just some, but all the animals from everywhere extinct. So truly, any and every effort on your part towards helping the animals is greatly appreciated. Not merely by myself and everyone here, but most importantly, it is by the animals themselves. So thank you for your help and efforts. Oh, and I hear the natives playing, which means it's the end of our journey. But did everyone have a good time? Oh, that makes me so happy. In fact, so happy that I'd like to leave today with Kwaherini, and which means to go well in Swahili. Would you also like to hear really quick, very bad animal jokes I know?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Alright. What does a lion call its barber? Its main man. And what do you call a group of frightened giraffes? Tower of Terror. So quiet hearing again, my friends. My name was Jason. I hope you all will have a great and wild time here in Harambe, or to where the journeys will be taking today here at the Animal Kingdom. And for all you wilderness explorers, you have been aboard the Simba 1. So go well, go wild, my friends.
Welcome back, friends. Watch right inside. The doors are sliding open. Once we get those out, there we are.
Quiet hearing again, my friends. Have a great day.
Watch right there.
Well, that was the Kilimanjaro Safari, and if you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
Happy birthday.